Hi, my name's Sean Taylor and welcome to No Fail Kids Show Magic Volume 1. Across these 3 volumes you're going to see a bunch of fun and exciting and interesting kids show magic. These days most people know me for stand-up magic and for mentalism, but for 15 years of my life I made my living almost entirely from performing for children. For birthday parties, for church fetes, for schools, for playgroups, for preschools and all kinds of events where the audience was primarily kids. What you're not going to see on these DVDs is a bunch of toys. No Axtell drawing boards, no Rocky Raccoons, no Run Rabbit Runs. Not because I don't like those things, in fact I have most of them, but because I wanted to show you something that was a little bit different. Something that perhaps you could use to construct a new show. Something that was perhaps a little bit more original. So you're going to see a lot of tricks of mine, a lot of fun tricks that are perhaps a little lesser known in kids magic, and some things that you can make for yourself. Now, most of my performing career has been in Australia, and you'll see that my style is very much dominated by the sort of English pantomime style of kids show magic, but it's perhaps a little bit more manic. Certainly the kids here in these shows are not terribly well behaved, so what you're going to see is me really in the trenches. You're going to see it warts and all. What I've tried to do as much as possible is to put the tricks into the shows so that they work as a show in a structure that might be a typical show structure. But the shows are a little shorter than I would usually do. They run for about half an hour instead of the sort of 45 or 50 minutes that you might typically do in a kids show. Hopefully those structures will show you how the tricks can work together and how the segues work between them. But you will see at times I'm a little rusty and at times I'm stumbling a little bit to get from one piece to the next. So like I say, they're warts and all, but hopefully because they're live performances they'll show you exactly how those tricks should look. You get one crack at it when you're doing a whole show, and we tried to do the best that we possibly could. So enjoy the first of the performances and then I'll come back and talk a little bit more about the tricks in that show. Oh my word! It looks like we're ready to start. Now we're going to make sure that everybody's ready for the show. So let's see. Have you all got your legs crossed? Perfect! Everyone got their legs crossed. And your arms crossed? Terrific. And your noses? Can everyone cross their nose? Anyone wiggle your ears? He's doing it. He's wiggling his ears. Now, I've got to make sure that I'm ready for the show. I've got my magic costume on, but I need something to wear on my head. A magic hat. A magic hat, that's right. Ah, here we are. A beautiful magic hat. Now, as soon as I... Wait a minute. It looks like somebody sat on my hat. Look at that. I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll call 1, 2, 3. Everybody blow as hard as you can and see if you can blow my hat back. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, perfect. There we are. Something to wear on my head, something to wave. A magic wand, that's right. I've got a perfect magic wand here. Ah, that's it. Now, I will wave the magic wand and that will make the magic work. What? Wobbling? At the bottom? There's nothing wrong with that. The top? Someone said it was the bottom. Hang on a second. Did you say my bottom's loose? Earth are you talking about? Now, I'm going to wave the... Where? Ah, there, right. OK, don't worry, I'll soon have it fixed. Look, all you need to do, it's quite easy, just put it in there and you tighten it up, you see. And that fixes it. Where? Oh, there! Oh, silly me, silly me. Look, it's a little bit wobbly on that end. All you do is push it back in and then you tighten it up, you see. Yeah.
Don't worry, we're not getting very far with this, are we? I'll just push that back in there. Now, here's something interesting. You see, a long, long time ago, when I decided I wanted to be a magician, hundreds of years ago, when I was a girl at school, I thought, wouldn't it be good? Sorry, I mean a boy at school. I thought, wouldn't it be good to be a magician? So I said to my grandma, I said, I want to be a magician. She said, well, I've got the perfect thing for you. She knitted me a magic wand. Look, see, it looks like this. It looks like a normal magic wand, but it's a bit wobbly because it's made out of wool. It's a woolly wand. It wobbles like a worm. Does anybody like worms? Someone does. What, in sandwiches? No. Oof, yeah. Now, after a while, I knew I wanted to be a proper magician, so I said to my grandma, I said, this magic wand isn't big enough. So I decided I was going to make a bigger magic wand. So my grandma, she did the same thing, you know. She knitted me a magic wand like this. Isn't that great? One day I called up my grandma, I said, I'm going to be on television sawing a lady in half. Don't worry, we won't be doing that one today. I said, wouldn't it be good to have a big magic wand? So she made me the biggest magic wand you've ever seen. There it is. Now, after a while, I thought, now, this magic wand's going to be way too big, so I need to work out a way of making it smaller. So you know what I did? I got out my skizzers. Scissors! Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you. You see, I've got a sore tongue and I can't say scissors, so I have to say skizzers. Just... Said what? No, I didn't say scissors. I can't say scissors. I always say skizzers. Did I? OK, listen very carefully then. I got out my... I'm not going to say it, I'm just going to tell you. I got them out and I was going to cut a piece off like that, and I thought, you know, it won't have the little white piece on the end anymore, so it won't be a magic wand. Yet at the same time, I was thinking about the little tiny magic wand. I thought, you know, this is so small. If I was to lose it outside, I wouldn't be able to find it again. So I knew I needed to make it bigger. I tried to stretch it, but that didn't work. So I've decided I can do it by magic. Watch carefully. Here's a little tiny magic wand, here's a medium-sized magic wand, here's a very big magic wand. And I'm going to fold them each in half, starting with the smallest one from here, the medium-sized one from here, and the big one from right down here. That gives me 6 ends up here at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 3 middles. A big middle here, a middle here, and a little middle right up here. Now, if I keep the ends together and move the middles together, it would look like they were the same size. Now, to make this work, all I need to do is to find one person to very quickly help me. Let's see. You don't even have to move. You can stay right where you are. Just give a little blow on there for me. Blow, not spit. Yeah, all right. Now, if that works, watch. When I pull like this, all of the magic wands are the same size. Look, 1, 2, and 3. Give him a big clap, everybody. Very, very good. Now, I wonder if we can do the same thing back the other way. Look, we'll start with 3 the same size like this and roll them up into the ball like this. I'll come back to you. Now, the last time you did a very good job. You blew on there and they all came the same size. This time you're going to go and suck all the magic away and they'll go back different sizes again. Off you go. Oh, my goodness me. I nearly lost them then. It was like turning on a vacuum cleaner. Oh, my goodness. Watch, look. This one's gone back to being a little tiny magic wand like this. If it's worked, this one should be medium-sized. And if it's absolutely worked, this will be the biggest magic wand. Give him a huge big clap. How about that? Look at that. Fantastic. Now, you have done such a good job of helping me with that. I think it might be a good idea for you to help me with the next one. Would you like to do that? Good. Give him a clap for coming out. He's going to help us with the next one. Over this side. Just about there, hands by your sides, a nice big smile, face to front. This is showbiz. Now, we need to know who you are. What is your name? Paul. Paul, you're going to help me with some magic which we need for this party, because this is a trick all about parties. This, you see, is my decoration box. Inside here, I keep everything I need to make decorations for a party, and we don't have very many today. So we're going to make some decorations using the things inside this box. Paul, just take hold of that for me. Look, that little piece of paper right there. Take a hold of that piece of paper. We're not going to get very far with that, are we? It's just a little tiny piece. We're not going to make many decorations with this. Never mind, let's try. We'll see what we can do. Yes, right. A little piece like this. That's okay, Paul. We will see how many decorations we can make with this piece of paper. Let me tear it perfectly in two like this, and I'll give one piece to you and I'll hold the other piece myself. Okay, hold it out in front like this. All right, now we're almost ready to start. What was your name again, Paul?
Paul.
Paul, that's right, good. I get very confused. All right. Paul, I want you to tear the paper all the way down the middle in two pieces like that for me. Off you go. Okay, two perfectly equal pieces. Right. All right. Never mind. Try again. In this place, tear it all the way down perfectly into two pieces like that. Off you go. All right. Put those pieces together, Paul, and do it one more time into two perfectly equal halves like that. Off you go. Keep pulling, keep pulling. Off you go. Tear it perfectly. Right. Okay, I'll tell you what. Give me all of your pieces and I'll swap you for mine, all right? Hold on to all of those. Screw all of those pieces up into a little tiny ball like this. Into a little ball like that. Off you go. That's perfect. Good. All right. So all I need to do now, once they're in a nice little tiny ball, is to pop them back inside the box. Now, once they're inside here, we'll be able to do the magic to make our decorations. All we need for this, Paul, is going to be a magic word. Can you think of one?
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra, that's a good one. We'll get everybody together to call out the magic words abracadabra and we'll try and make decorations inside our box. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That doesn't look like much. Have a look at that. Now, yeah, what? You want to see? Have a look at that. Look, see. Look, it doesn't look like very much at all. Don't worry. Let me do this very slowly. Look at that. Hold on to that for me, Paul, because I think the magic might just have worked. I think we might have made a decoration just like this. Give him a big clap, everybody. How about that? Here it comes. Miles and miles and miles of decorations. My goodness. Now, it's still coming. I can't believe it. Still coming. Paul, you have made such a good job of this. I tell you what we'll do. We'll roll them up into a nice loop like this. And you, for now, my friend, can be the keeper of the decorations. Just like that. It looks like... It looks like he's just come back from Hawaii. Now, Paul, let me ask you a question. Do you like dogs?
No.
How about little ones like this that don't need feeding? Yeah, perfect, good. I'm going to give Paul a little dog to take home. Now, I always keep my dogs inside a bag like this. I call it my doggy bag. It's got squares on the outside and red on the inside. That's to remind me that this is the one that I use to keep my dogs in. Here's the dog's lead. Paul, when you pull on that, on the end of there, you should see a dog. Just keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. Oh. Hang on a second. There's supposed to be a dog on the end of there. Ah, wait a minute. I know what it is, I know what it is. It's not the right bag. It's the wrong bag. It's not the one with the squares on the outside and the red on the inside. This is the one we need. It's got red on the outside and blue on the inside. Reach inside there and take out the dog for me, Paul. There we go. Have you got him? That's his collar! What's that doing there? Ah, wait a minute, I know what it is. It's the wrong bag. It's not the one with the red on the outside and the blue on the inside. It's this one. It's got blue on the outside and flowers on the inside. Reach inside there and take out the dog for me. There we are. That's his bone! What's that doing there? Yuck! Don't worry, I know what it is. It's not the right bag. It's the wrong bag. It's not the one with the blue on the outside and the flowers on the inside. It's the one that's got flowers on the outside and spots on the inside. Reach inside there and take out the dog for me, Paul. There we are. It's a wiggly worm. Wait a minute. It's not a wiggly worm. It's a special balloon for making dogs. I'm going to make a dog from this balloon. Here we go. Ow. I'll tell you what, lucky that wasn't my nose. Oh! They always laugh when I hurt myself. Right, okay. Paul, hold on to that one for me there. Just hold it right there. That's it, perfect. Now, Paul's gonna... Just hold on to it there. Hold it there, look. Just hold it there, look. Or just give it a little stretch. I always get nervous when that works like that. Okay. Now, listen. I'm going to blow this up and try and make it into a dog. But whatever you do, don't make me laugh. Because if you make me laugh, then I can't blow them up. He started already. Shh. Don't make me laugh. You think it's got a hole in it?
Yes.
All right, don't worry. I've got a spare one. It's a different colour, but it'll be okay. We'll use this one right here. This will be perfect. Paul, it might be safer if you stand over that side right there. Just about. That's perfect. Good. All right, here we go. So, Paul, just hold on to that end. We'll just give it a little stretch now. Okay. Woo! Right, okay, that's good. Okay, you can let go now. Perfect. Here we go. Shh. A dog from a balloon. Hold on a sec. I don't think I'm going to need that much. I'll keep that bit for later. Right. Okay, now. Wait a minute. It looks more like a banana with a tail. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, I know it's my fault. I haven't finished yet. Look, he needs a face at the front. What a good place to have a face. No laughs. Okay, we'll move on. Good. Just for myself, that one. And a couple of legs at the front, a body somewhere around the middle, and a couple of legs at the back. He's the longest sausage dog in the West. This dog's very clever, Paul. Watch, he does tricks. Sit up. There we are. Now, this dog, Paul, is for you to take home. It's absolutely beautiful, so you can show it to everybody, your mummy, your daddy, your grandma, your granddad, and as soon as they finish looking at it, you can pin it on the wall, all right? There we are. Give him a big clap, everybody. There we are. Thank you so much. You can take a seat back down there in the middle. That's terrific. Now, just before we move on, let me tell you something. You see, you've all worn the hat that I wear when I'm doing magic. You've seen that hat. Now, would you like to see the hat that I wear when I go to bed?
No.
I thought so. All right, okay. I'll just put on the hat that I wear when I go to bed. You see, I have this special bed hat. I always wear it when I go to bed. It helps me sleep. Now, let me put on the bed hat. Hang on a second. When I put on my bed hat, no one's going to laugh, are they? No. Right, okay, good. Here we go. Yep. You won't even laugh a bit, will you? No laughing when I put it on. There we go. Okay. You do promise you won't laugh. Yeah. Okay. No laughing, because it is a bit funny. All right. Okay, there we are. That's got it. Now, you said you weren't going to laugh. No laughing, please. There we are. Right there. That's it. Now I have to be very careful when I go to sleep, because every now and again this piece touches on my nose and it makes me because I don't want to tooth. I sneeze so much it blows my hat right off. Whew. Now I'm going to show you some magic using this hat and a little orange ball. I'm going to make the orange ball disappear from the hat, and no one will know where it's gone. The vanishing the orange ball from the hat trick. I'll show you how this works. It's very easy. Very fast and very easy. All I do is wave my hand, snap my fingers. Look, inside out, the hat completely gone, disappeared. Under my arm? No, it's not underneath my arm. The other arm? No, it's not under the other arm. Look, the one with the hat, it's not underneath the... Oh, I see. You mean this arm right here? Okay, all right. Well, if you think it's underneath that arm... Yeah, I know, yes. If you think it's underneath this arm, hold up your hand like that. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, good. Watch. To make it come back inside the hat, I wave my hand over, snap my fingers, and if it works, back inside the hat is the orange ball, and everyone goes mad with applause. Okay, well, two people do anyway. Good, right. Okay, now, This time I will do the same magic trick again, but I won't say a word. I'm going to do it completely silently, without speaking, the vanishing the ball from the hat trick without saying a word. Are you ready? Here we go. I will spin around as fast as I can and the ball will disappear from my hat and I won't say a word. Shh. Silent magic.
It's in the mouth! No, it isn't!
What?
It's in the mouth! It's in the mouth!
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's just my tongue. Haven't gone from here yet. All right, let me see. Is there anybody here who would like to help with the hat? I can see somebody sitting very quietly over here that looks like the perfect person to help with this trick. That little boy right there. Yes, good. Give him a clap for coming out, everybody. Terrific. Okay, around about this side. Hands by your sides, face to front, nice big smile. You're in showbiz. What is your name, my friend?
Christopher.
Christopher. Now, Christopher, this is going to be the perfect trick for you. Christopher, hold on to that ball in the other hand, up nice and high over there. We're going to make the ball disappear from there and appear back inside the hat, which is empty. Look. They don't believe me, Christopher. I'm going to turn it inside out and give it a good wiggle so that they can see there's nothing inside. And I want you to hold on to the hat on the top, up nice and high like this. Up here, that's good, perfect. Hold it up there, good. Ball over here, hat over there. Now, to make the ball disappear, all we're going to do is to take this nice big handkerchief and cover up the ball. The ball will vanish completely. Once it's... Oh! Sorry. We almost vanished the Christopher. We've got to be very careful, all right. The ball will disappear from underneath the handkerchief. Hold on to the ball right there. Can you feel it? Yep. Have you got it there? Hold it tight. Hold it over there. The hat over here. I'm going to wiggle my fingers and thumbs and everybody can call out those magic words which were... Abracadabra. Perfect. After 3, 1, 2, 3. And if it works, watch this. The ball disappears from the handkerchief. If it's inside there, Christopher, everyone's going to give you a huge clap. Reach down inside, grab a hold of the ball, hold it up so everyone can say, there it is! Back inside the hat. Now you have made such a good job of that. Would you like a balloon to take away?
Yes.
Great. So I'm going to make a nice little balloon for our friend to take away. Let's try one of these. Now these are the pink ones and they're very hard to blow up, so everybody has to help me. Take a big deep breath as much as you can. Blow as hard as you can. I think that's as far as I can get. I don't know how we're going to make this work, Christopher, but I'm going to try to see if I can do it with a very, very tiny pink balloon. If this works, some tiny, tiny ears and a tiny face. And that's somewhere around here. It's going to be a little tiny pink mouse. Here and here. There are some legs. Some ears over there. Here's a body. Some more legs over there. It's the tiniest tiny balloon mouse. That, Christopher, is for you. You can take that away. Give him a nice big clap, everybody. Very good. Terrific. Good, good, good. Now, let me see. For the next thing, I'm going to need 2 volunteers, perhaps one from the boy and one from the girls. I'm going to be watching very carefully to see who's sitting quietly and just may help with the next part. I think Jack could help with one piece. And Jack, could you choose somebody to help as well? Who would you like to get? Somebody else? One from the girls, perhaps? Let's balance it up a bit, yeah? Madeline, right. Where's Madeline? Out you come, Madeline. Terrific. So Madeline's going to help for the girls. Jack's going to help for the boys. Now, before we start, we've just got to make sure that everything is ready, okay? Now, Jack, what we're going to do is this.
I am Jack.
Hang on a second. So you're Jack then, Madeline.
No, I'm Jack.
So you're Madeline then, Jack. This is very confusing. Let's see if everybody else knows. Who's this?
Jack.
Who's this?
Jack.
Then who am I? Oh, I'm the magician. That's right. Okay. Now, Jack and Madeline are going to help me with a lovely little trick using 3 of these. Little coloured loops, all different colours. 1, 2, 3. Now, the... hang on a sec. What are you doing with that? All right. Don't take the things when we're trying to do the trick. Turn around this way, face the front. Good, all right. Now, as I said, there are 3 and they're all different colours. We've got 1, you thought I was going to drop it then, didn't you? 2 and 3. Now, here's what happens. We go... What's that doing over there? Right. Okay, now, we're going to test out to see how good everybody is with their colours. So you've all got to join in with me now. Watch very carefully, and I'm going to go through them one at a time. You know, this one's green, this one's yellow, this one's red. But we're not sure about them, so we give everybody a test. Ready? We've got green and... They called that one yellow.
Green and green.
Green, I know. This one is...
Green.
And...
Yellow.
Last of all... Red. Right. Hold on to the green one there for me if you would, and you hold on to the yellow one. Hold it out in front like this. That's perfect. Now I want you to go all the way round the outside like this and make sure there's no gaps or splits. Make sure there's no holes, apart from that one right through the middle. Now, through the middle of here, have a look through the middle. Through the middle of here, have a look through the middle. Perfect. Good. Now you will see there's no gaps and splits. Let go now. All right. Stand still over here, hands by sides. Nice big smile, face the front. Good. All right. Red one through the yellow one through the green one. Now look, here's the idea of the trick. I'm going to try to make the green one jump to the bottom by magic. The green one will jump to the bottom and the red one will jump to the top by magic. Here we go. I will spin around as fast as I can. Everybody can call out the magic words. Abracadabra. And the red one will jump up to the top. Are you ready after 3? 1, 2, 3. And the red one jumps up. What? I had to turn around, otherwise I couldn't. Oh, okay. All right. I'll tell you what, I'll do it again. I'll do it again. This time the red one will jump back to the bottom. I promise you I won't move. I will not move a muscle. The red one will jump back to the bottom. By magic, you'll see it go. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Abra. And the red one jumps back. Okay, I cheated a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. We'll do it again. This time, they are going to do the magic for you. Hold up your fingers and thumbs like this, because you're going to do the wiggling. That's you. Terrific. And after you do the wiggling, the red one this time will jump into the middle. Are you ready with your magic words? Ready? 1, 2, 3. And the red one jumps into the middle. How about that? Ah, well, okay, I know what you're thinking. A little bit of cheating. So I'll tell you what we'll do. This time we will get... will you just hold on to that for me? Sorry, will you hold that for... Will you just... Oh, don't worry, I'll hold it. All right. A magic bag. Now, this magic bag will help us to do the magic. I want you to look inside and make sure it's empty. Have a look inside there. Oh. Oh. Inside there. Hold on to the handle. Up nice and high with 2 hands. Up nice and... That's perfect. Now, here's what's going to happen. Madeline's going to wave the magic wand over the top of the bag. Good. Now, Madeline, all you need to do is to wave the magic wand over the top of the bag and that will make them join together. Don't go this way, all right? Always go that way. Okay, some people try and go that way, but you have to go the other way. Right, good. Around like that. Sorry, I forgot to tell you, Madeline, you have to squeeze it with your finger like that and then you can hold it up like that. Squeeze it nice and tight. Oh, that's my finger. Right. Squeeze the magic wand. Hold on to it tight. That's perfect. And wave it over the top of it. It's gone like a funny pair of legs this time. Look at that. Here we go. Yuck. All wiggly. Right, here we go. Don't worry. I'll see if I can fix it. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Right, hold it in the middle nice and tight. That's good. Right, over the... Yuck. Don't worry. I've got a spare one. Right. It's a little bit bigger this time. There we are, Madeline. Take the red magic wand and wave it over the top of the... Hang on. Hold this one in that hand and that one in that hand. That's perfect. Now. Right. Madeline, put that one underneath that arm. That's perfect. Hold this one in that hand. That's good. Now, all she needs to do... hold this one underneath that arm there. Put that one in that hand there. That's perfect. Good. Now, all she's got... I'll put that one underneath there. Hold that one over there. Right. And Madeline, you can wave any one of them over the top of the bag. Off you go. Right. Abra, cadabra. It looks like it might have worked. Hang on a second. Don't go yet. I'll tell you when. All right. Madeline, hold on to this. Slowly pull out, slow down. Look, it's joined onto the yellow one and joined onto the red one. Give him a big clap. Oh, my goodness. Now, Madeline, don't run away. Because this time it's Jack's turn to see if he can do better than this. So, very easy. Madeline, hold on to the bag there with 2 hands. All right. This time, it's Jack's turn. Now, this is the special magic wand for Jack. Jack, what I need you to do is to come over here, hold your fingers up like that. That's perfect. Good. Now, Jack's going to take this very strange little magic wand and hold on to it here. That's good. Now, turn around this way. Now, all I need is for everybody to call out the magic words together, which is wing, wing. Ready? After 3, ready?
Wing!
Hello? I think it's for Jack. It's for you. Hang on, I'll tell you.
No one
He's in the
there.
middle of a show. He's very busy right now. Okay. All right. Sorry, that was the wand phone. Are you ready? Wave the wand phone over the top of the magic bag. Very good. Now, if it's what... You're not going to believe this. If it's worked this time, very slowly pull it out. Very slowly. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. Give him a big round of applause, everybody. What a fantastic job. Now... You guys have done such a good job of this magic, I think it's time to give them a balloon. What do you think?
Yeah!
I think so too. Come and stand over here, Madeline. Come and stand over here, Jack. I'm going to get them a balloon, and whilst I'm doing that, I'm just going to be behind the box for a few moments. So if you guys could just fill in by singing a song. Off you go. Can you sing a bit louder, please, so everyone can hear? A bit quiet out here. Off you go. Just sing a song a bit louder so everybody can hear you. You're a bit quiet down here. No singing going on out here. Very quiet. Don't worry. It's time to make a balloon for Madeline and for Jack. Now, Madeline, look at me for a second. OK, I think I've got the perfect solution. Here we go. Yes. This could be it. Watch very carefully. A little bit of a twist and a turn around here. Anybody got an idea what this might be? OK. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. Hand down for a minute. There we go. Very carefully. This one joins onto here. Now we're going to get Madeline to show us just how strong she is. Would you hold on to that for me for a second? Madeline, I want you to hold out your hand like that. And you're going to do a karate chop like this. Hi-ya! Off you go.
Hi-ya!
Like that. Hi-ya! Like that. Hi-ya! Okay, a bit louder. Can you do that for me? Off you go. Oh my goodness, look at that. She's done it. Isn't that fantastic? She's karate chopped a balloon right in half. Just hold on to that for me for a second. Now, all we're going to do, come a bit closer here. What happened there? Flew away. All right, don't worry. Right. I've got a spare one. We'll do the same thing again, this time in the middle right there. Off you go. She's done it again. Look at that. Okay, well, I cheated a little bit that time. All right. A little green tongue for a few seconds. Here we go. 2 little green pieces to finish off. Here we go. It finishes off on the top of here to make a monkey climbing a palm tree. Oop. Get in there. 1, 2, 3. And it's a monkey on a palm tree. Give her a nice big clap, everyone. Terrific. You can go and sit back down. Thank you so much. What do you think? Yes, I've got an idea for Jack. I'm going to take one of these and join it onto here. Watch this very carefully. Like a little piece of string on the end of a balloon. And now one like this. This one you have to watch very carefully because it's a little bit tricky to guess. A twist around here and a turn around there. Here we go. A twist around here and around here. Almost there. One just here and one just here. Do you think it's a fish? It looks a bit like a fish. There we are. There's the tail. And this goes around there, and around there, and out of the fish's mouth.
A fishing rod!
To make a fish on a rod. The warm-up sequence for this first performance uses two simple items, an opera hat and a tippy wand or flipple-tipple wand. Let's deal with this first. This wand was invented by a friend of mine, Lenny Blees, and it's now sold out of the USA, and it's, again, fairly easy to get hold of. A little tip with this, it's got a little spring on the back which allows either end to flip off the wand. Now, the one thing you have to be careful of with this is that you let the ends swing side to side or up and down like this, but not round and round. If you do that, what happens is it twists the tension up on the spring and eventually it will break. So if you want to prolong the life of it, then don't twist it round. You will see me pretending to twist the ends back on, but all I'm actually doing is miming that. So when I push the end in and I pretend to screw it back on, this is just miming. I'm not actually turning that around, otherwise I'll run the risk of breaking the spring. So you can see in the show how it works. Really the purpose that this holds is to get the kids enthusiastic about calling out and getting involved and seeing that I'm a bit of a silly guy and I'm missing what's going on. So that's the tippy wand or the flipple-tipple wand. Second thing is the opera hat. This is a pretty old Mephisto one I've had for about 20 years, maybe a bit more than that now. Correct way to close the hat is to hold it against you and push, and you can flip them open nice and snappy way like this. Now, I use these kind of things at the beginning because I like to give a sort of peep behind the curtain, and I like to come out and make it feel as if I'm not quite ready. I'm almost ready. So I'm developing that bumbly, slightly forgetful character right from the get-go. So I used to have a whole sequence where I would put a jacket on as well as putting a hat on at the beginning as if I was preparing for the show, and I like that sort of peek behind the curtain type segment. So this is it, two simple things for a warm-up.
So let's look at the explanation behind the professor's wands. Essentially, this is a professor's nightmare handling that works really nicely for kids, because even if they don't necessarily understand the magic aspect of it or appreciate the magic aspect of it, they can appreciate the comedy that I'm generating by doing the effect. This, I assume, is probably original handling, although I have to confess I don't really know. The first wand is going to go into the very crotch of the thumb. The second one follows that, that's the medium size one. And then the third one, the large size one, goes next to that. So it's a small, medium and large. Now the first move is really the move that sets up everything else in the routine. So imagining that the audience are away from me, I'm reaching around to the front and taking the smallest end, wrapping it right the way around those two wands and bringing it up to the left hand side, in other words right into the crotch of the thumb. Now once that's done, that effectively sets me up for everything else in the routine. So now I take the medium sized end, and that goes to the right, and the large end also to the right. So this means that once I come to the stretching sequence, I'm just going to grab the first three ends and pull. And that will now make it appear as if all three wands are the same size. So far this is pretty much, like I say, the standard handling. Now for the next part of the sequence, I'm going to take the very first wand. Now this is really where I find that the way that I do it, I say my handling, the way that I do it is a little cleaner than you sometimes see. I see people trying on the stretching sequence to find the first and the third and the sixth, and it gets all a little bit messy. And also in this part they're grabbing the middle one or something else. I'm just grabbing the very first wand, pulling it to the side, and then allowing the end to drop. This is the most complicated piece where you have to change hands as you come back. Your fingers are going to act rather like a pair of scissors. You're going to leave the first wand behind as you take the second two. So it's a switch between those two to allow the count to work. So you come back using your fingers like a pair of scissors, grab the next two, leaving the first one behind. So this is a count of 2, followed by a count of 3. So that's all 3 wands. Now let me just run through that counting sequence again. The first part of the trick is really incredibly easy. It's the counting bit that most people get wrong. It has to be very smooth. So when you count 1, come back, grab and count 2, count 3. It should look 1, 2, 3, nice and smooth. What you don't want to have with that counting sequence is something that goes like 1 and then rummage, rummage, rummage before you get to 2. So it's got to look nice and smooth. Once you're at the end of that particular counting sequence, I roll up the wands and then just hold everything gripped in my hand. Grabbing this first end will then allow me just to pull it straight out. So that shows the small piece, which is just rested on my arm. The last piece that's sticking up, that will be the medium end, so I can grab that one out of the bundle to show the medium wand, and then finish off in the applause position by showing that that big wand has now gone apparently back to being a big one. So it's a nice, clean, simple sequence. It's obviously an impressive trick for the adults that are watching from the back of the room, but it's got plenty of comedy and entertainment to keep the kids interested too. That's it. Professor's Wands. The decoration box. The mouth coil is really one of the most simple and straightforward production items to use in a kids show. Trouble is that in the PC world we live in, sometimes it might not be smart to put things in your mouth. So I wanted to get the benefit of being able to produce a mouth coil without actually putting it in my mouth. So a very simple idea is the decoration box. It's a simple little cardboard box, and although it looks quite flashy, it's something which I made myself just in a couple of hours. And I'm going to show you exactly step by step how to make the box, and then we'll come back and look at the routine in a little bit more detail. So let's take a closer look at the manufacture of the decoration box. I'm going to remove this inner portion so that you can see exactly how it comes together. So this is the outer box, which is just a box and a lid, and then inside this box has 2 pieces. It's got the little tray which goes in the bottom, and then over the top is a cover which has a hole cut inside, and that fits snugly over there. So the mouth coil will go into this portion of the box, covered up by this piece, and then that whole thing fits inside the box. Now to go about making this, you will need 2 little boxes like this. Now these are pretty easy to find. They come in what in Australia we call the $2 shop. In England it'd be the pound shop, or I think they're called dime stores in the States. They are little trinket boxes which are used for rings or other small gifts. There are 2 different styles. This is the outer one, which will form the main part of the box, and then this one is a little bit more ornate. It's got a little tray in the bottom and a slightly bigger lid. So this will form the inner piece that will hold on to the coil. So you'll need one of each of these to make the whole thing. The first thing you need to do is to remove all of the contents of this box. It's only just glued in, so it's pretty easy to do that. So you remove that, and the ribbons and all of the decoration from the outside part. Now once you've done this, what you may need to do is to tidy the outside of the box up, perhaps glue the papers back in place and make it look nice and tidy before you go about painting it. So the little ribbons and all of the extra pieces just need to be removed from the outside. Now I've got a feeling I paid about $1 each for these boxes, so they were pretty cheap and pretty freely available. So, okay, once you've removed all of these ribbons and the extra filling, you've now got the outer part of the box, which is going to form the main box in the Performance. So, with the other one, I'm going to leave this piece of padding inside the box because that's going to allow the coil to nest quite comfortably inside there. But I do remove this portion from the bottom. So this will now form a little tray which is going to go inside that box. The top part you remove from there, again the ribbon and the decoration, if that's not necessary. And now you're going to cut this down so that it's about this size. It's about half its normal size. It's also going to be the right size to fit on this tray. So it's fairly easy to measure the tray up against the lid so that you know exactly how much you need to cut off. Mark it around with a pencil and then cut it. I'm going to do this one quickly so that you can see how easy it is. Just using a sharp knife, go around the outside. Obviously I do this a bit slower and a bit more carefully to get straight lines. So this will form the lid that's going to fit over this little tray. Once you've done that, you're going to make a hole in the top that needs to be the right size for the mouth coils. The ones I use are either the small or medium size from David Cressy products. I find they're the best. Now this portion I'm cutting out is probably about an inch by around 3/4 of an inch. Again, I'm doing this fairly quickly just so you get the idea. Like that. So you have a hole in the top of that portion. So your mouth coil will fit inside here, and this goes over the top. Now this part will now fit snugly inside here with the mouth coil in there and this piece on the top. That's it. It's as simple as that. Very, very easy thing to make. Now, of course, once I'd finished making it, I took the exposed parts, the pieces that people will see, and I just sprayed them with some black paint, which I got from the hardware store, and then a square of prismatic material stuck on the lid, just to make it look a little nicer. This piece you don't need to paint because it's right inside. It's where the mouth coil is held, and it's covered up with the lid portion. So you don't really need to paint that piece because it's right inside. And it closes up inside there, the lid goes on. It's quite a nice looking prop which you're able to make just for a few dollars. That's it, very simple. The decoration box. So let's take a look at exactly how to handle the routine. The mouth coil fits inside the box quite easily. I pull up a little bit of the white paper so that it's ready to go. That tucks in the little padded portion of the box, and with the frame directly over the top like that. This goes inside the bottom part of the box with the lid which is about to go on top. Now the paper, I'm going to fold that paper up, and that goes immediately on top of where the coil is inside the box, covered up by the lid. So we're now basically ready to go. So with the intro to the routine, I'm lifting up the lid and showing the paper inside the box. The paper is going to then be torn and handed half to the kid, and I keep half for myself. Now, there's an awful lot of comedy that can be got from the tearing, particularly if the kid has to tear the paper along what is not the grain, in other words, against the grain. It's very, very hard for them to tear. And on both this show and on the other show where you see me doing paper tearing tricks, the kids have a great deal of difficulty tearing the paper in a straight line, and this creates automatic comedy. So once the paper is torn up,
torn up enough to make the effect work, and a few times is enough. You don't want little shreds of paper going all over the place. The paper is then screwed up into a little ball, and I go to place it inside the box. In actual fact, what I do is not place it in the box, but underneath the box, just into my hand. It appears as if it goes in the box, but actually it doesn't. So it goes underneath the box, and then I cover the box with the lid and then commence the routine. Now, once I lift the lid off and we're into the last part, what I can do is to steal this piece away with the lid so that the torn up, folded up portion gets stolen away with the lid, and I'm then ready to do the production of the mouth coil out from the box. So that's it. It's very, very simple. Now, if you wanted to, you could modify the box to put the pieces inside, but to be perfectly honest, it really isn't necessary. It's as they might say, running without being chased. So a very simple idea, simple production prop, decoration box. I'd like to share with you two ideas that I use in the introduction to my balloon segment. The first is an idea which is not mine. It's from an American magician called Hank Morehouse, and it is quite possibly the best use I've found for the gag bag, or what some people call the zipper gag bag. It's a great way of introducing balloons. It's a good, funny segment, and you'll see from the show footage that the kids will really get off on it. It's a great, funny bit. So for this you will need a dog's lead, or leash as you call it in America, a collar, dog collar, a bone, this is just a rubber bone from a pet shop, and a balloon with the end cut off. So I just snipped a little bit off the end of this balloon. And now you load up the bag, and you're going to do this in sequence, in reverse order, starting with the chopped off balloon first. Then turn the bag inside out and put the bone in. Inside out again. And load it with the collar. And then lastly, in the last section, you're going to put the lead. And if you can get this kind of chain type lead, then it doesn't take up as much space in the bag, so it's an ideal way of using it. So that sets you up, and then you go through the regular gag bag sequence, and in each section the kid takes out a different item, and you can see from the footage how I get the gags out of those. So first of all, of course, they're pulling out the lead, then, oops, silly me, I forgot the bag, I got the wrong bag, turn it inside out, then they're ready to reach in, take out the next item, which is the collar, so on. So each time you're turning the bag, and I'd like to push the bag upwards, so I'll do that again in just a second. So when the bone comes out, now I'm pushing the bag up from the bottom. This means that the top is now going to be the new opening, and then you're ready to go again. Just turn over the top, and they reach back into the bag and then take out the last one, which of course is the balloon. I miscall it as a worm, go through the gags with that, snapping the thing on my hand, and then on my nose, and then finally the gag of this, which is way more funny than it needs to be for something that takes no effort whatsoever. So thanks to Hank Morehouse for allowing me to explain that. It was first shown to me in England by a magician called John Peake. And this is something called the snap gag, which is a good use for the piece of the balloon that you chop off when you're making the chopped off balloon for the bag. I'm going to cut about an inch or a couple of centimeters or so off the bottom of the balloon, and this will allow me to do the snap gag. Now, this little piece is going to go onto the end of a regular balloon. The easiest way to do that is just to use the end of a pen or pencil, push it into the little piece. This takes a little bit of a knack, like that. There we go. So once that's on the end, it will stay there quite happily by itself, and your fingers cover the join. So this now allows you to blow up the balloon, and you appear to have blown the balloon far enough, and so you apparently don't need this little piece on the end, so you snap it off. And it's just a little aside. The kids don't really notice it, but the adults will look and think, how on earth did he manage to do that? Snap the end off. So I just snap this piece off, put it in my pocket, and of course you can reuse it next time. So that's it, the doggy bag and the snap gag. So let's talk about Uncle Charlie's nightcap. This is a routine that was based on Uncle Henry's nightcap, which was a prop put out by Supreme Magic. And in effect, it really is just the Tarbell egg routine. With the Tarbell egg bag, the final phase, the egg vanishes from another place and appears back inside the bag again. So essentially that's what this routine is. It's 6 or 7 minutes of really good comedy for not a lot of effort and also not a lot of props, and that's why I like it so much. This particular nightcap is again made of acrylic wool. This one again is quite some years old. I now have these available and you can get them from my website. Let me show you how this works. Inside this hat there is a pocket just like the usual one that you would have on an egg bag. So it's about 2/3 of the way up or down, if you like, the side of the hat, and it's a pocket back in the other direction just like you would have in a regular egg bag. And the tassel is obviously fairly crucial because that's a good piece of comedy and it starts the routine off with a good gag. So in addition to the nightcap, you need a couple of other things. You need 2 ping pong balls, or small balls about this size. Obviously they don't need to be ping pong balls, but something around this size. And lastly, a Miller handkerchief. This is rather like a devil's handkerchief, but a lot better, and I'll cover exactly why I think that is in a moment. So the 2 ping pong balls start off in your pocket. The beginning of the routine, you take one out, and as far as the audience is aware, there's only ever one ball in play. The first part is all bluff. You're putting the ball inside and you're going to apparently make it disappear, and this is really just the standard egg bag routine. So I'm taking the ball, putting it inside the hat, and then using my fingers, I'm pushing the ball up into the pocket the same as you would with a regular egg bag routine. So it's going up into the pocket inside the hat. They can feel the ball on the outside of the hat. I can then turn the hat completely inside out, pushing my hand right inside and showing it to be empty. Of course, it's now in the pocket, which is over on this side. Taking the hat back in the right way, the ball will now fall back down to the bottom or top, if you like, of the hat, since the hat's upside down. That's the first phase, and it's very simple to do that. The next part of the routine is the bluff part, where I'm pretending for the ball to be in my mouth. This is a hilarious portion, and you'll see how much comedy I managed to get out of this from the kids. So I'm pretending to put the ball inside the hat. When I turn around the other way, I'm just using my tongue to make it look as if the ball is in my mouth, which is very funny. It gets a really good laugh, and when I stick my tongue out, and a big laugh, the kids are falling about laughing. At this stage, it's a good time for me to steal the ball, because the laughing is enough misdirection and it covers me. Just casually putting my hand in my pocket and then coming out again with the second ball. I'm just going to hold it underneath the rim of the hat for a moment until I'm ready to do the next part of the routine, where I reach in and I'm apparently going to take the ball out of the hat. In fact, of course, I'm just going to take out really the ball that I already had. Okay, so this is the ball that I'd got in my hand. There's now a second ball in the hat. To make the ball vanish, I'm going to use the Miller handkerchief. Now let me explain how this works. It's like a devil's hank, but instead of having the pocket in the corner of the handkerchief, the pocket is about 1/4 of the way down the handkerchief, and it is the middle third. Let me open that up so you can see. It's the middle third of this side of the handkerchief. Now, the action of the vanish is quite simple. I'm holding the handkerchief with the pocket open underneath. It gapes open, so it's easy for me to find. It's gaping open underneath. So all I do is take the ball and apparently put it underneath the handkerchief. So it's literally going straight into the pocket. It's a very simple process. Taking the ball, putting it underneath the handkerchief, I don't need to look, it goes straight into the pocket. Now the kid can hold the ball through the handkerchief, they can feel it there. All I need to do is to grab the handkerchief at this side and pull, and apparently the ball immediately disappears. It's a very clean, very simple vanish. Why I like this is with a devil's hank, you very often, and I've seen this so many times with magicians, you very often see this. The corners of the handkerchief are folded up, and then the magician takes the ball and he's going to put it in, and he starts to fish around and he's trying to find the right pocket. It's all over the place. It's hard to remember which end to hold. It's all a mess. I love the fact that the spectator can hold this and that I don't have to look at it when I pick it up. To enable me to do that, with the pocket on the outside, so here's the pocket again here on the outside, I'm going to fold the handkerchief in half, again leaving the pocket on the outside, fold a third back on one side and a third back on the other side. So I now end up with the handkerchief in a rectangle and the pocket is right here. So that's how the handkerchief is sitting inside my box. When I pick the handkerchief up, I grab it by this front leading edge, lift it up this way, and by grabbing it and shaking it out, now the whole handkerchief is visible and the pocket is immediately in the right place for my hand to find. So now I don't have to look at it. I can carry on keeping eye contact with the kids, explaining what's happening, taking the ball, sticking it underneath the handkerchief and having the kid hold it. Very, very simple. So that's the vanish. The reappearance is very straightforward. Obviously, there's already an extra ball inside the hat. I reach inside the hat to turn it inside out, tucking it in the pocket so that the kid can see that there isn't a ball inside, that it's empty. I show it one more time. And as I fold it back in, I straighten the hat out. Now, by running my hand down here, it just ensures that the ball goes right down to the very bottom of the hat. And now by giving the kid this bag to hold by the top in the other hand, it means that they can't grab it and fiddle to see if there's another ball inside. They're completely controlled. At this point, their hands are out, a hat in one hand, a handkerchief in the other. They're absolutely ready for the routine to end right at that point. They can't fiddle with anything. They're completely under my control. When I snatch that handkerchief away, you can see the look on the kid's face. It's a nice, strong vanish, and then letting him actually reach inside and take out the ball just gives it that great finish. So it's a very simple routine with a lot of great comedy, and it's very entertaining, and that is the Uncle Charlie's Nightcap. So let's talk about the main routine, the main effect in the middle of this show, and that's a trick that I like to call the loopy loops. A little bit of history on this. This trick was created in this particular format by a man called Wally Boyce, who was a great friend of mine, a British kids entertainer. The rights to this effect now belong with a lady called Melanie, and she has very kindly given me permission to produce these and to explain it on the DVD. There are 3 sets of loops, and these are made from acrylic wool. Again, these can be put in the washing machine and they will last and keep nice and bright and colourful for a very long time. The first set has 3 separate loops, a green one, a yellow one and a red one. The second set has 3 loops which are the same, exactly the same, but joined in a chain. And the third set is 1 giant loop which is stripy. Now in the current sets that are made by Melanie, she has a much larger chunks of colour, which I'm not so keen on. This is the original one, and I like it better. I think it looks a bit more crazy. It looks like all of the pieces have joined together to make one giant one, which I rather like. So I will explain the nuts and bolts of how this comes together, and then a little bit later on the DVD I'm going to talk in a bit more detail about our old friend, the change bag. But for now, let's look at the mechanics. So the stripy loop goes into the change bag in one side, and the change bag is then changed back so that it will apparently be empty. This is a twist handle change bag, turns around so it's now apparently empty. Next to the change bag, inside your bag, box, briefcase, wherever else you're working, is going to be the second set of loops, and you fold them in this way. So each loop is folded in half, so that you end up with a nice little clump like this.
and you set this now alongside the handle of the change bag. So it's going to be there ready for you to grab at exactly the right moment. Now, this first portion has a lot of comedy going on, and really there's about 5 minutes worth of stuff before the routine really kicks in. I've made this routine last up to 15 minutes in the past. Some years ago I did a very big stage show in a circus tent. There were 700 or 800 kids in the audience. I got a couple of kids out. We recorded this for a TV show, and it was a 15-minute segment. And I basically did this and a couple of balloons, made the whole thing last 15 minutes. Every silly, funny wand, every gag with the kids I could possibly muster, and it makes it a really good, solid, comical routine. The first part of the routine is the coloured portion, where apparently the kids are going to call out the colours. This is an idea I got from Peter Pinner. And you lift up the green loop first to show that one. Now you come back as if you're going to grab the yellow one, and in fact you just lift up the green one again, which gets you a good gag because everybody calls out yellow thinking that you're going to hold up the yellow one. So now they go back onto my hand and I do the same thing again. Green, yellow, and finally red. So I show those, then I'm going to hand one each to the kids for examination. When I get the loops back, I'm now going to set them up for the original carnival ribbon effect. This was the effect that was put out by Supreme, and it's really a nothing trick, but it does look quite striking. It's quite quick and it's sort of unexpected. So the loops are threaded in this way, and once you're in this position you can do the comic bit of pretending to make them change places by turning around, and I do this in a very sort of cliched, obvious way. So I try and make it look like I'm being secretive, and then as soon as I turn around the other way, very quickly I turn them over. And of course the kids see it very obviously, which gives them a good opportunity to join in by shouting out. Once that's done, I'm then going to do the second part of that gag, which is holding this one and letting it go, which you'll see gets a great laugh on the show, on the demonstration. I was actually using my son for this routine, and you'll notice on a few of the tricks that he does preempt the ending, so he's seen them rather too many times. So this is the last part now of this little segment, where I'm going to grab any one of the strands, and it doesn't really matter which one you grab. You just grab one strand and you pull it straight down, and it changes the places of the bottom two loops, the middle one and the bottom one. And you can do this again, and you can keep doing it. This was the original carnival ribbon effect. It's just one of those quirky things that happens automatically by itself. So once you've done that part, the changing, you then unthread the loops, take the whole bunch and fold it in half. Now this position exactly matches the folded set that you've got sitting by the handle of the change bag. So the switch goes completely unnoticed. I've seen people in the past do these kind of things and try to create some really clever way of switching. I've done this hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, and no one suspects that the switch happens at this moment because it looks exactly the same. So now I'm taking this with my hand into the box or bag. I'm dropping these down exactly next to where the bag is inside my box. Obviously it wouldn't be exposed like this, it'd be inside. I'm dropping this one down, picking this lot up and coming straight out. Now it's the appearance and the surprise and the colour of the change bag that makes them forget all about the loops at this point. They have no idea that anything has happened. I show the bag inside out. Again, you'll notice on the show that my son preempted that already. He knew what was going to happen. These go inside, and this is great. It's a freebie. I don't have to do anything now. I can hand the bag, go into the funny wands, and immediately this part's done. Very simple. That's the first part. Now these go back inside the bag. I do the necessary change, as in this case by twisting, or the little trigger if you have that. Then the kids are going into the second part of the silly wands, which then allows me to take out the loops the second time. Now when I do this, I bring out just enough of the loops so that they see one colour, and all they can see is that colour to start with. And now I'm going to delay the ending where they gradually see the loop coming out, and they can see the fact that it's turned into a big stripy loop. Now the kid at this point is holding this one and not
terribly obviously, but just as a throw off to anyone who might be looking, I just casually turn the bag inside out to show that there's nothing inside, allow it to come back in, and then toss it away in the box. And we're into the finale of the effect, where I'm going to make a balloon for each of the kids. So that's it. Very simple, but a lot of colour, a lot of comedy, and a lot of participation. The Loopy Loops.
I want to talk just for a couple of moments about Change Bag. I did a lecture recently, and I saw a write-up of the lecture somewhere, and somebody said, isn't it time we stopped using a change bag? It's a strange looking item and it doesn't look like anything normal. Well, let me say I've got a completely different opinion to that. The change bag doesn't look like something normal. It looks like something a magician would have, and that's exactly what you are. So you're perfectly allowed to have things that look odd, things that look strange, things that look like something a magician would have. Now, there are lots of different styles of change bag, and you can find one that more perfectly suits your character or your costume, and I think it's going to work for you just fine. I did children's magic for almost 20 years, and during that period, in every single show, I used a change bag for something. Many, many different routines over the years, but always a change bag in the routine. Gives you a lot of possibilities with having the kids out holding the bag. There's lots of good gag possibilities, and it is strong magic. Something goes into the bag and it can either appear, disappear, or change to something completely different. It's a very useful item, so don't discount the change bag. This particular one is I guess, the change bag of choice. It's a really nicely made one from Germany, and it is the traditional style with a twisting handle. Some people have a problem with the twist of the handle, and a good tip for that is to not turn the handle of the bag, but actually to turn the bag. So by turning the bag this way, it's affecting the change instead of actually turning the handle. It's a very simple tip, but it's a good way of using a change bag. This is also a little more secure because, unlike the other version, which I guess is the lazy man's version that has a little trigger under the handle, it's impossible for the kid to find a trigger here because there isn't one. So I think I always feel a little bit more secure with the handle type, but these little ones with the little trigger under the handle work perfectly well. So that's it, just a couple of moments on the change bag.
Another favourite prop for the kids magician is the breakaway wand. Now again, I've heard people denigrate the breakaway wand, talk about it as if it's old-fashioned and the sort of thing that you can't get away with anymore. One of the great things about children's magic is that you've got a new audience every couple of years. You've got new kids coming along who have never seen the breakaway wand before. So again, in all of the shows I've ever done for children, there's always been at least one breakaway wand, and sometimes more than one, 2 or 3 different ones used in different routines. Now, the breakaway wand in itself as an item is not really funny. It is the reaction to the wand that makes the laugh. So it's the fact that the kid is standing there holding it and looking embarrassed and not really sure what's happened that makes the thing funny. What you don't want to do is to continually use the same wand gag. Hand it to somebody, it collapses, hand it to someone, it collapses, hand it to someone, it collapses, and keep doing that over and over. There's something called the 3 rule, or the 1, 2, 3 rule in comedy. 3 rule's very simple. The first gag sets the gag up. Second time around, you're selling the gag really hard and pushing it home. It'll get a much bigger laugh. The third time, in their minds, the audience is saying, surely he can't do it again, and then bang, you've got him a third time. 1, 2, 3. At that point, you have to stop and move on. Now, if you watch the performance that I have, I use the 1, 2, 3 rule by doing the collapsing wand 3 times, but then I go on to have extra gags with the wand beyond that, and I even proceed that by having an extra gag where the kid can't actually get hold of the wand, so I'm moving it around in such a way that he can't get it. Again, I only do that 3 times. You'll watch I go to hand it to them and take it away. That's once. Again, a second time, again a third time. So I've got, in effect, 3 gags before I've even actually had the collapsing wand. I then do the collapsing 3 times, and then move on to bashing myself on the head, which again always gets a great laugh because it's got that pain element, and then the silly pair of legs gag is a little visual sort of sign-off. So really I'm getting 8 or 9 gags, 8 or 9 bites of the cherry from one simple, cheap gag item.
Don't leave it out of your show. Breakaway wand.